Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Live United, the show all about United Way of Central West Virginia, all our events, our happenings, and just what we've got going on in your community. And we are so excited because with me today are two very special guests representing West Virginia American Water, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So,
thank you so much, Kristi, for having us today. We are so excited to be here. I'm Megan Hanna, the External Affairs Manager for West Virginia American Water. I've been with the company for 5 years now doing our community outreach and community service, and just recently moved into a role where I'm now managing customer communication. So I'm really excited for the opportunity for us to be here today.
that's awesome. And you're just a little bit busy.
Just a little bit busy. Yes, just a little bit.
Perfect. And
Hello.
with us, hello.
I'm Bradley Harris. I am External Affairs Specialist with West Virginia American Water, and I've only been on the team for about 8 months.
Wow.
Feels like 8 days. It's been that
But
quick.
he has jumped right in,
So,
and fantastic job.
Very exciting.
So
Never
you're the
a
new
dull
kid on the
moment.
block.
I am. Yeah, I'm learning all the ropes and getting acquainted with everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you both for being here.
Sure.
And so today we're going to talk a little bit twofold because we're going to kind of split the show. West Virginia American Water has been a huge supporter of United Way for several years. And so Megan and Brad will talk about that. And then we're going to shift gears and talk about our favorite subject, Dancing with the Stars. And so if you saw last month's episode of Live United, we sort of introduced Dancing with the Stars, which will be hosting here in Charleston May 8th, 2020 at the Charleston Civic Center. But we will be talking more about it and, again, going back over who our dancers are going to be. So let's dive right in. I'm going to start with you, Megan.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your commitment to United Way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of folks don't realize how entrenched in our communities West Virginia American Water really is. And one of the ways that we really strive to get involved with our community is through the United Way. And we've been a longtime supporter of the United Way of Central West Virginia, both through charitable giving, through employee giving, through a charitable giving campaign with our employees, but also volunteer efforts. The things that you all do, like the shoe fund and things like that. Our employees really rally around the efforts that you guys are putting together at the United Way. And over the years, we have really strived to make sure that we are being a strong financial partner with the United Way here in our community. Over the last 5 years, we've given over $80,000 to the United Way of Central West Virginia. And really, yes.
It's a great,
It is.
it's a huge
It's
number.
a huge number.
Yeah.
And, American Water as a whole, our parent company, we partner with the United Way nationally. And so not only do we support our United Way here in Central West Virginia, we're supporting all United Ways in our service area of West Virginia, but then on a national scale, our parent company is really working hard, giving more than $500,000 a year to the National United Way.
Sure.
And so it really is partnering. American Water and the United Way really go hand in hand. We are so thankful for our partnership with the United Way and the things that you all are doing every single day to make our communities a better place. And so in addition to what we do with the United Way, we do a ton of outreach within our communities, and Bradley really spearheads a lot of that now. But we partner with lots of local schools, civic organizations, groups that are really working hard to address the needs of our community. Over 84% of our employees volunteer in some capacity throughout the
wow.
year, and we have over 315 employees statewide, and those folks are really the heart and soul of what we do, not only in providing water to our communities and the life-saving support that we provide at fire hydrants, but they are in their communities every single day making a difference through some type of volunteer opportunity, through some type of charitable giving. And we're really proud that those are West Virginians. Those are our neighbors and our friends and our employees that are giving back. And so it's really at the heart of what we do, Kristi.
Wow. Well, it's easy to see. I follow your Facebook and your Instagram and all
Right.
your social feeds, which didn't exist a few years ago,
Right.
but easy to see how ingrained you are in the community and how much time and effort you put back into the community. And I would just like to say, on behalf of United Way, we couldn't do it without companies at your scale.
Absolutely.
And so, of course, we have everyone from individual donors all the way to small, medium, and large companies. And, it's easy to see when we look around in our communities, some of our larger companies are non-existent anymore. And so,
It's tough.
giving, it is tough. And so We thank you for everything you all do, and year in and year out, as well as the volunteer efforts. I don't think there's enough communication, or we don't talk enough about
Right.
what it means to volunteer.
Right.
And I know. Can you talk a little bit more about how do they calculate those hours? How is that
Sure.
managed?
We actually do it ourselves. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So Bradley has now stepped into that role where he's managing all of our community outreach and our volunteer efforts. But we really, with 315 employees, it really is a small community, our
Sure,
workforce. And so, we're able to one-on-one talk with our employees and get them involved in projects that they feel passionate about and that they really want to be involved in. And so then from there, we're able to track not only their individual charitable giving so that we can make a match, to organizations like you at the United Way, but we're able to track their volunteer hours and really understand that sweat equity. It's not always just about, writing a check. That's hugely important to you all in your mission and what you do, but also being involved in things like Day of Caring and being a part of those huge initiatives. Day of Caring it's truly one of our favorite days of the year. We have, over the last couple of years, we've had more than 30 employees want to sign up and be a part of that. And so we actually, the last 2 years, we've been split into 2 different projects. We've had so many employees that want to be a part of that, and Lisa and all the things that she does to coordinate that. It's unbelievable, really, what she does, the amount of projects that she puts together. And so that's really exciting for us to be a part of that and really see our employees get involved with the United Way and see them be a part of what you guys are doing.
So tell me a little bit about this past year. What projects were you involved with Day of Caring?
With Day of Caring, I actually went to Clay County High School, and we did a lot of, we did painting, we did some building maintenance. We were out actually painting lines on the parking lot. So we were out in Clay County, and we had a great day, a fantastic day at Clay County High School.
And we were
Bradley
over,
and I split up.
Yeah, we were team captains, so we were over on Charleston's west side.
Okay.
And I think another thing that we overlook so many times, and I know Megan did a great job with that, and I'm trying to step in and continue that, is building those relationships. And through the relationship with the United Way, through the Second Avenue Community Center, we went over, painted, cleaned up, and so one of the things that we've been able to do, we kind of worked close with the building director there and saw the value and the after-school services and the meals provided and things like that. Really is a lot of great work going on.
Oh, absolutely.
And so through that partnership, and we'll be announcing it soon, we've actually taken on another project there that we'll be announcing soon. So we've taken on another financial project there to help them to further support their mission and provide opportunities for those students after school on the west side.
Yeah, and like Bradley said, I mean, we really, we may not have known that connection with an organization like Second Avenue had it not been for us, partnering with them through the United Way. So that's, I think it's just a really great way for companies that aren't involved with the United Way, if they're interested in getting involved in their communities, the United Way is the best way to do that. I mean, you guys know the needs, you know the organizations that, are looking for partners and looking for support, and so it's really a great way for companies like ours to connect with lots of organizations.
When you
in the
use the word
community.
connect, and that's exactly what it is. I
absolutely.
mean, we are the central hub. And so whether a company is looking for volunteer opportunities for their employees, or for that organization that really needs a hand, and that's great to hear that continued, and that is becoming less unusual, because we hear stories of, I think it was Delaware North, the folks at Mardi Gras, who had done some work in the city, and then it was like, hey, our folks really want to come back and keep working. So, I think that's fabulous. And again, I think that sometimes there are folks out there, and I'm sure you have employees who would rather give their time and their talent than a dollar. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. To us, it's all the same. Because again, that's just getting good work done for organizations who truly value it.
And I think one thing too that you guys do that's great, and I think often people overlook, is even if there is an opportunity that's presented to us for sponsorship or volunteer, and if for some reason we're not able to do it or it's not in our giving purview at the time, we always can contact you guys and say, hey, we have a need right now. We can't fulfill the whole need, but what can you do? And you guys have always been great. You've kicked in, behind the scenes and done something as well. And so I think the value added from the United Way is overlooked. You guys do a tremendous job
Thank
with
you.
that.
We appreciate
Yeah.
that. So tell me about an event that you've done recently that's really warmed your heart. Something maybe you've done out in the community that's been.
I think immediately came to mind, and Megan, you can chime in on this too, because we had such a good time doing this. So back at the beginning of September, we put out a bottle filling grant pilot program. So we had 93 applications for the reusable bottle filling stations to be placed throughout public places across our service area. We had 93 applications, and so we only had money to do 4.
Okay.
We decided to do 10.
We had no idea, just to kind of add to this, we had no idea the amount of response that we would receive.
And
we
the
set
need,
aside money for
right.
4 bottle filling stations and had 93 applications.
Wow.
And just had no idea that that
Okay.
would be the response.
It
Yeah.
was overwhelming.
Yeah.
And so we went back to our community investment committee, who appropriates the funds and decides where we're going to put that. And so we went back and said, wow, look at all these schools and these, very rural areas and that really have a critical need.
Yeah.
And so we did 10, put those in. So we're in a meeting right before Christmas, like actually the week before we went on for Christmas vacation, and we had some additional funds. And so we were like, what are we going to do with these funds? So somebody stepped up and said, why don't we give every elementary school that applied in our service area? So let's go out. So Megan and I, along with our supervisors and some of our other field employees across the state, we called Santa Claus the week before Christmas vacation for those schools. And so we have some videos we'll be sharing that they were overwhelmed. We had declined them and said, unfortunately, can't do it all right now, but please apply next year. And so we just kind of popped up in the schools and we're like, surprise.
And we
have
showed
a
up
bottle.
at 30 schools. We were able to do 30 more bottle filling stations
So
across
tell
our
us
service
what
area.
a bottle filling station is exactly.
Sure,
What,
yeah.
So,
There you
it's
go.
lovely
You
West
have
Virginia
props
American
and you
Water.
have it.
I have a
Yes.
prop.
Yeah.
So these are reusable water bottles
Okay.
that we use, and so from corporate all the way down,
Yeah.
we're really pushing to not use
Sure.
plastic, reusable water bottles and things like that. And so Megan kind of spearheaded the idea.
Yeah, and they're just you're starting to see them pop up more and more, especially at airports and a
Okay.
lot of public places where it's not just a water fountain where you might have trouble
Right.
filling your bottle, but it's actually
It's a
one where
like a
it's like a
dispenser.
dispenser.
Okay.
And a lot of them they're filtered, so there's a filter
Right.
system to it, and a lot of them will calculate how many bottles were saved by using the reusable station. And we're finding too that, a lot of the schools, especially in their applications, said this is really a way for us to keep germs down and things like that rather than having the kids at the fountain. And so that's why we really thought, let's do all these elementary schools that applied. And that was really just kind of again, like Bradley said, an end of the year push that was like, okay, we have this funding that, we didn't get to all of it. So let's really do something great for our communities and show up and surprise these schools. And it was fantastic. I mean, we had principals that cried, and we had, folks that were
great.
just so thrilled. And so I agree with Bradley. That was probably the most heartwarming thing that we've done recently was just to show up at these schools and say, thank you for being you. Here's a bottle filling station. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. And they were so thrilled. It was
That's
fantastic.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, cutting down on germs alone,
Right.
I'm sure for a school, an elementary
Right.
school is
Right.
priceless.
Right,
So,
exactly.
But I love the idea then of forming habits early.
Exactly.
Right,
And
promoting
that's key.
hydration
It's key.
from a very young age.
Yeah.
So that's very
Right.
important.
Right.
Yes.
Because we know that our soda consumption is
It's through the roof.
too high.
Right. Yeah.
We're going to talk about that. So anyway, that is awesome. And so at this point, I think we'll transition and talk a little bit about Dancing with the Stars. So if you didn't see last month's episode, we announced all of our dancing couples. And so I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at those slides and we're going to talk couple by couple, but, spoiler alert, Bradley is a dancer.
Yay!
You decided star.
Yes, sitting beside a star. And so we're going to talk a little bit about all of our dancing couples. And again, because if you haven't heard any of the announcements or you haven't seen the show, haven't seen any of the press around it, you're going to really get excited. You're going to want to know who's dancing and then how you can get involved. So our first dancing couple we're going to talk about is Kathy Nutter and Doug Harlow.
Ooh.
Talk amongst
What a
yourselves.
great group.
I
What a
know,
great
it's an
group.
awesome team.
Great group.
Kathy will have her hands full. She'll have to keep Doug in line.
What a great couple that is.
Yeah.
you
I know.
Just a dynamic duo, really, the two of them.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, Kathy